Aotearoa, and welcome to Wednesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz. And today we lead with news. It seems Iran is going to come out of the current peace deal with a very large reconstruction commitment. To end the standoff, the US is offering Iran substantial funding, even if via convoluted means, so that Trump can claim the US isn't involved. But first, the overnight dairy auction brought lower prices than at the prior full event, but not as low as the prior pulse event, nor what the derivatives market was expecting. Still, it was a 2.8% retreat in US dollar terms, down 1.4% in New Zealand dollar terms, and to the lowest overall level since early February. Generally, the powders were softer than expected, the milk fats not as soft as expected. In the US, their weekly ADP employment update signalled a slightly slower pace of hiring, the softest pace since early March, but this signal is still expanding, just slower. And the New York Fed's Regional Services Sector Survey found softer conditions in June than at the prior survey, with declining activity and firms not very optimistic. Meanwhile, the US National Housing Start data for May revealed sharply lower activity, down 8.7% from the same month a year ago. In fact, apart from the pandemic period, this is the lowest level in 17 years and since the GFC. All eyes now turn to the US Fed and their meeting tomorrow. Many economists are betting on higher rates as Kevin Warsh takes the reins at the Fed, but it is no certainty, as financial markets see no change in their rates tomorrow, despite the high US inflation measures. In Canada, their real estate market seems to be recovering, led by Toronto and Ontario markets, with national sales rising at a rate in May not seen since 2024. In China, new home prices there were 3.5% lower in May from a year ago, matching April's pace, and that extends their consecutive decline to almost 3 years. Second-hand home prices fell at a faster rate in the 70 major cities that their official data tracks. But there are now new pockets where increases are starting to show up, even for pre-owned homes. And China said its industrial production expanded 4.5% in May from a year ago, better than the 4.1% in April and better than the expected 4.3%. And their electricity production rose 4.2% in the same period, giving some credibility to the industrial production claims, which has been occasionally absent in recent months. But China's retail sales actually fell 0.6% in May from the same month in 2025, following an easing pattern that started in March, and the first decline in retail sales there since December 2022. But much of this weakness is due to lower car buying, which was down 16%. Sales of home appliances and audiovisual equipment was down 16%, home improvement down 11%, gold and silver jewellery were down 9%, and furniture down 8.7%. Turning up sharply were beverages and tobacco, clothing and cosmetics, comfort items popular when things are stressful. And as expected, the Bank of Japan raised its policy rate by 25 basis points to 1% yesterday in a 71 majority decision. This new rate is the highest in 31 years. In Australia, momentum in their manufacturing sector stalled heading into the mid-year, with conditions slipping back to neutral after a short-lived recovery. The Middle East conflict is reining in cost pressures across the industry, according to the latest update of the ACCI Westpac Business Survey for the June quarter. And late yesterday, the RBA agreed unanimously to hold their cash rate target at 4.35%, as was widely expected. On the commodities front, we should note that while urea prices are falling with oil, it is not the case for sulphur or bitumen. Many commodity prices may stay elevated for a long time yet. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.42%, down 4 basis points from yesterday at this time. And the price of gold has recovered further, up $20 from yesterday at $4,341 an ounce. Silver's unchanged at $70 an ounce. And oil prices are down another $5 from yesterday at $75.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just over $78.50 a barrel. Hormuz transits are still minimal, with only 6 crude or product tankers exiting over the past 24 hours. Oddly, however, it seems the US is using an Iranian ship transfer tactic to get some cargoes through. And we should note that construction and other costs for electric battery storage stations have fallen below that for gas-fired power plants for the first time, as overproduction in China and a shift away from electric vehicles drove battery prices down 40% in 2025, while turbine supply crunches is making new gas plants more costly. And the Kiwi dollar is up 10 basis points from this time yesterday at just on 58.4 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're up 20 basis points at 82.6 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're unchanged at 50.3 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just under 62, which is up 10 basis points from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $65,878 and down 1.5% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been modest at just under plus or minus 1.1%. And we should also note that reports suggest that Binance is about to lose its license to operate in the EU. Binance is controlled by Zhangbing Zhao, also known as CZ, who was convicted of money laundering in the US and of course got pardoned there by Trump. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. We'll do this again tomorrow.